much erroneous stuff on the internet. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. Yeah. Nothing is truthful on the internet. People can say whatever they want.
That is very truthful on the internet. Gun Owners of America has given McCain an F-.
Yes,
they created the F- category specifically for it.
I didn't mean things like that. I meant when you look at people who write things in blogs, they just say whatever they want about anybody.
And you're talking specifically about Tom Knapp from St. Louis,
Yes.
Buddy Tom. It's always Buddy Tom. Yeah.
Anybody can say anything. So
he's a real pain sometimes.
And anyway, I'm a member of the Gun Owners of America. And I'm a proud member of, and I'm a member actually of the Jewish Gun Owners of America.
JPFO,
There we go. So I joined that.
Yeah, you should definitely slam McCain on the gun issue on all these shows.
There's a lot. Listen, there's so much.
The McCain-Lieberman bill would have shut down gun shows.
There's so much to slam McCain on. I don't know where to start.
Start with guns. There's 5 million gun owners in the U.S.
Start with guns, and how about immigration? I think his views on that are a little bit off. How about his views on McCain-Feingold? That is suppression of free speech. I have a right to give any politician anything I want, and you have no right to set limits. That suppresses free speech. So, John McCain is not a libertarian. We all know that. We all understand that. He wants to wage war.
Well, except Eric.
Except Eric Dundera.
Eric Dundera.
We know Eric. Eric's a little wild. Yeah. Yes.
A question.
Yes.
I pretty much agree with everything that you've said, and you're
Lots of good
amazing speaker. I have a strategy question.
Okay.
What is the benefit of having a presidential candidate versus focusing, if you're able to raise that kind of money, of focusing on a congressional seat from Nevada or something like that.
Well, I made you
every time somebody goes to C-SPAN or somebody goes there and they see a vote,
right.
There's always that one line,
right.
Libertarian,
right.
one.
Right.
But, you've got so many people who might flip.
Right.
If there was one congressman.
And I may wind up doing that. One of my opponents in this presidential race, by the way, is Mary Ruwart. I don't know if any of you know her name, but Mary just got in the race, and Mary said to me point blank the other day, she said, I'm running against you. I don't know who's going to win, but she said, I certainly like to think that I will win. And she said, but I really do believe you're going to be our first elected United States Senator or Congressman from the state of Nevada. And that may be where I go in 2 years. It really may be. So we'll see. But right now, what I want to do is build a national following, and for 10 years, well, that's because all they did was run conservative candidates who lost and lost and lost. Then they finally won with James Buckley as a conservative candidate. And after that, they did so well by doing that Republicans were convinced they'd lose elections all the time if they didn't move towards my parents' way of thinking. And when they moved to my parents' way of thinking, the conservatives started to endorse Republican candidates. And by the way, occasionally they endorsed a Democratic candidate too. There's no law that says it has to be Republican. So I agree with you. I think the Libertarian Party should either run their own candidate or try and find a candidate from one of the two major parties occasionally that actually thinks their way. I would certainly, as a Libertarian, endorse the governor of South Carolina, Mark Sanford. I think he's fabulous. I would have no trouble endorsing him.
I think Jeff Flake from
Jeff Flake's fabulous.
He's very
fabulous. And who's the other one? Hold on, there's another one I love.
Sarah Palin from Alaska?
She's good, but that's not the one I'm talking about. I got it right here, and I just wanted to mention the name because some of you will know the name. John Shattuck.
Yes.
John Shattuck sponsored the Enumerated Powers Act. And what the Enumerated Powers Act says, and I love it because that would be my first act as president, is to pass that. No bill should ever be funded if it isn't authorized by the United States Constitution.
Can I hear that again, please?
No bill in Congress should ever again be funded unless you can prove it was authorized by the United States Constitution, by what our founding fathers put down in writing. That's the problem with our government. Nothing's authorized by the Constitution. They just pass anything they want to, and they fund it. And the worst thing in the whole world is earmarks. That's the worst. Because no one has to even say who it is that's putting that out, and it's extra money on top of the budget. It's a sin. It's just terrible. And at least John McCain, who I think is Mr. Big Government, at least he came out and said he's against earmarks. But Obama and Hillary, they claim they're against it, but they have the largest dollar volume of earmarks. It's unbelievable how much they've got. So, you're talking about people who just want to expand government, expand government, expand government. Very sad. And I'll tell you another thing I do as a libertarian, and some libertarians have told me they don't like it. I love it. I would fight for the line item veto for President of the United States.
Yeah.
I don't know why a libertarian would be against it. I don't even know. If someone could tell me. Because I think it's great. All it really means is you hand me a budget that has $10.50 in it. It's not just a matter anymore of voting yes or no, or vetoing it. I, as president, could say, I will pass it, but I'm going to first cut $8 out of $10.50 and I'll pass the $2.50. A president should be able to go through every line and say, I'm not paying for that, I'm not paying for that, I'm not paying for that. I think we need it. You know, or as one of the great movies of all time, Apocalypse Now. Remember the Major? He said, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Well, I love the smell of vetoes in the morning. I will be the veto president. There will be incredible gridlock in Washington, D.C. We may not cut government, but nothing's getting done to be there.
Yes.
Nothing. And that's good for the people, you know?
There'll be pocket vetoes, right?
Pocket vetoes, exactly. It's kind of like a buddy of mine. He lived in San Francisco, and he said in 1968 there was a doctor strike. And for 3 weeks, doctors were on strike. And death rates went down dramatically. Dramatically! No, and that's what congressmen are like. See, doctors have to prove, lawyers have to prove, they also have to prove they're important. So they do operations they never should have done in the first place. And congressmen are always looking to pass bills to prove how important they are. But every bill they pass just happens to be bad for all of us. You know? So it's time to just let it take a vacation. That's one of the reasons Nevada is a pretty low-tax state, or actually one of the lowest tax states. So, you know, our legislature only meets every other year. They're part-time politicians. And now they're dying to meet every year. You should see the fight going on. They want to meet every year. I think they should meet every third or fourth year, personally. It'd be a lot better for all of us. So, you know, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope it answers a lot of questions for all of you. I hope you enjoyed the conversation tonight, and I hope you'll all be supporting Wayne Root for president. Thank you. All right. I've got 15 minutes. If you want to ask anything else, I have no problem with it. So
I have
There's a question.
yes, all right, here, hold on. We got one here, and I'll go right to you. Yes. I'm getting tired, so even I got to sit down once.
I believe that in view of the fact that there is such a lousy slate of candidates this year by all of the major parties, that the Libertarians, I think, are going to, I predict, will get between 4 and 6 million votes.
Well, from your lips to God's ears, my grandmother used to say.
In this year, in this election. I
don't think it's going to be quite that easy.
My question is, well, what I'm saying...
If we get 2 million, it'll be twice the votes we've ever gotten in history.
Okay. So my question was going to be to you is, what would your prediction be in that?
You know, I think if I am the candidate, I can get a couple of million votes.
Whether
pretty
you're the
easily.
candidate or not.
Well, I see. It just depends. I don't know. It depends who the candidate is. I think there are some candidates running right now that, despite everything going perfect for us, this is the perfect storm. I think we'll wind up with the same 400,000 votes. I'm telling you that no matter how much people want a third-party candidate, it's got to be the right candidate. And I just, you know, there's certain things we can disagree on, but I think the candidate can't come across as radical. You can't make the issue pot. Can't be the lead issue. You can't make the issue anti-war as your main issue. Because I hate the Iraq War too, but it's not my main issue. Why do I say that? Because everyone in America who's left-wing anti-war pacifist is going to vote for Barack Obama, who is the most charismatic candidate of this generation. If you are a left-winger, you're going to vote Democrat. And if you don't, you're going to vote for Ralph Nader. And if you don't, you're going to vote for Cynthia McKinney. So our issue can't be war. Our issue needs to be right-center. We need to go after all the people that cannot stomach John McCain on the right. That's where our opening is. It's not to say that it's wrong if you're a left-wing libertarian. I'm not saying that. As a matter of fact, if you really look what I believe in, I'm all right on one side and I'm all left on the other. But I consider myself a right-center libertarian. That's where our strategy has to be this year. If you elect a left libertarian, I'm telling you, you're going to get the same 400,000 votes you always get. Why do I say that? Because all my friends are small businessmen. And I don't know one small businessman who will vote for a guy who wants George Bush put up on war crimes, who says the war on terror is a fraud, who says that all drugs should be legalized, who says we should have open borders. Small businessmen don't believe in those things. They believe in one thing. Here's what they believe in. Here's my entire campaign in a nutshell. Open your wallet, look inside, vote for me, and I promise to stay the hell out of there. That's what small businessmen care about. And by the way, homeschool parents usually care about that too, and they care about education reform, and that's my big signature issue. Education reform, parental choice, freedom, competition for the public school system. Those are my issues, so that'll get them. And then, of course, my issue is online gambling, internet freedom, and that'll get the online poker players. So there's some edges that I've got. Bob Barr would give you